65 Radio. This is an interesting text. From the 213, during the broadcast of the Oklahoma game last Saturday, Bob Stoops stopped by the radio broadcast booth. Asked if he had watched Texas-Alabama. Stoops replied, "Yes, I did, and believe it or not, I was pulling for UT, much to the surprise of my Oklahoma brethren. I thought UT looked good. I liked what I saw. UT succeeding is great for us at Oklahoma and great for the SEC going forward. If one of us wins, we all win. Texas doing well is good for all of us in the SEC." Just like that, Stoops said it. Bottom line, Oklahoma and Texas, this is 213, may still be a part of the Big 12 for right now, but psychologically they are long gone. They have no interest in the Big 12 any longer.
And I vice versa.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think, that's been, I'm not trying to be mocking there. I think that's pretty clear, and I think it's pretty clear that the Big 12's like, we'll see ya, and I know that the immediate response is, you won't be saying that when the money's gone, and, you're fighting for the new TV deal, and, look, I think everybody in the Big 12 understands the motivations of Oklahoma and Texas. They always acted as if they were too good, especially UT for the neighborhood anyways, so how many attempts was this before they finally did leave? Well, there's a whole Pac-12 issue. There's been multiple times where they've threatened to or have were rumored to have been in negotiations to leave. So, none of this is new. It's just that it's actually happening now. They're just doing what Missouri already did and what Nebraska already did and what Colorado already did. And, who am I missing there? Nebraska, Colorado, Missouri, and A&M already did. So, A&M already made the SEC move. This isn't anything unique or new. It's unique in that it just was kind of pulled like a rabbit out of a hat out of nowhere following media days last year. There was no indication that there was actually fire to the smoke. The smoke, though, it's been out there for years now. It's been in the clouds for forever for the Big 12. So, we just finally saw some of those flames and some actual substance to it. But I'm sure that most of the logos have already been changed over, and I'd be almost surprised if they haven't. They're acting like an SEC team. They're going to be an SEC team, and I get that. It's kind of like you go to Cincinnati or BYU right now. They got Big 12 logos, going up. So I think that's to be expected, and it's understood. And, I think, obviously Oklahoma and Texas have every reason to be really excited about where they're headed, but I think for the Big 12 schools remaining, there is almost a sigh of relief that even though the money's going to be different, obviously, the money's still going to, be there to some extent. It's not going to evaporate entirely, and they're still going to be able to handle their business and still have a shot at the playoff and all those things. So everybody wins. Maybe some make a little bit less money, and certainly a couple will make way more money. And if money's your driving factor and your motivation, then win for Oklahoma and Texas. But I think everybody is going to be fine in the end. I don't think it's oh my gosh, I hope that they change their mind, or maybe they'll come back. Everybody's already moved on, I think, at this point.
Yeah, I think that, if you're Texas and Oklahoma as coaches, you are recruiting guys who, when they are upperclassmen, are going to be SEC players.
Yeah, no, you have to do that right now.
So you are recruiting the SEC. You're saying, hey, do you want to come to Texas or Oklahoma and play against Bama and play against A&M and play against Florida and Tennessee and Georgia? You can do that here. And so they're not saying they're basically saying you're going to have to play against Baylor and TCU and Iowa State for a year or so, but eventually we're going to make that move, and when we make that move, we want to be ready to make that move, so we want you to be good, and we want to be good the day we get there. Arch Manning, you're coming to the SEC. Arch Manning's not a Big 12 quarterback for maybe more than a year of his life, probably. So they're not selling him on being a Big 12 quarterback. They're selling him on being the SEC quarterback, the guy who comes to Texas and helps Texas win the SEC. That's the idea that they've planted in Arch Manning's head. Every player that Brent Venables is recruiting, he's recruiting against the SEC and for an SEC team. That's what he has to do. Because if not, it'd be that's going to happen in a couple years. Well, how can you get players excited about that?
Yeah, no, you should. If you were one of those two, you should. Again, you're going to Oklahoma and Texas anyway, even with one of them has struggled for about a decade with the uptick with what we saw on Saturday. Somebody who has been a part